Hey, Palace Dad, it's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
Joe Biden asking law enforcement to get to the bottom of this. 10 days, no interviews. They have videotape of every single person that went in that door, every one. And they could have easily interviewed all of those people. That was not an investigation. That was a cover-up.
This situation is a boiling pot of infuriation that's about to explode. The FBI, the supposed untouchable agency that's meant to uphold justice and protect the American people, is now mired in the filth of a massive cover-up involving cocaine found right at the heart of the White House. How dare they think they can get away with this? We've had enough of their lies, deceit, and blatant disregard for the truth. This is an absolute disgrace and an insult to every single citizen in this country. The very institution we trusted to be a pillar of integrity has let us down in the worst possible way. And let's not even waste a breath on the Biden administration. They promised us a bright new era of governance, but all they've delivered is incompetence, weakness, and a lack of accountability. We're witnessing one scandal after another, and it's clear they can't handle the responsibilities of running this nation. Our country deserves better than this mess. We need leaders who genuinely care about the welfare of their citizens, not self-serving politicians and officials trying to save their own skins. They thought they could get away with it, but they've underestimated the fury of the true American people. We won't back down, and we won't stop until we see the corrupt exposed and true justice prevails. This is our country, and it's time to take it back from those who think they can trample on our trust and dignity. Together, we'll be an unstoppable force, and we'll show them that the power lies with the people. And let's not even get started on those spineless politicians who used to claim they care about White House scandals. Ha! It's all a load of baloney. Now they turn a blind eye and act like nothing's happening? It's utterly disgraceful. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. They're more interested in protecting their precious positions than standing up for what's right. It's insulting that they think we're all so gullible and naive that we'll just swallow their lies without question. But guess what? We're not. We see through their deceit, and we're not going to stand idly by while they mock us with their arrogance and indifference. This whole situation is a slap in the face to every hard-working, law-abiding citizen who expects integrity and accountability from those in power. They're trampling on the very principles this country was built on, and it's an absolute disgrace. We deserve better than this circus of incompetence and deception.
He's absolutely right. It's not just about forensic evidence. I mean, I prosecuted loads of drug cases, and as a judge, I sat in the narcotics part. The last thing you hear about are fingerprints on a glassine envelope, okay? I mean, you can get them clearly. If you're desperate, you can. But it's more about witnesses, who was in the proximity, talking to people afterwards, and the claim that, we didn't have the resources. It would be a strain on resources to talk to 500 people, as if finding a controlled substance in the White House is not a serious event. And the only outrage through the whole thing is not the outrage that it was in the White House, but how incredibly irresponsible to ask if the Biden family has been excluded. And look, here's the bottom line. It didn't take 11 days to close the investigation. It took 11 days to cover it up. And any prosecutor worth his or her salt knows that when you change the location of where it was found 3 times, you are literally playing with the facts. And I want to speak to the person who made that statement from the library, the hazmat and fire department people, to say, show me on a map where this was, and let's get to the bottom of this. And the Secret Service, you're better than this. You're absolutely better than this. But then if you're committed to taking care of Joe and covering up for Joe, as you did when you pulled that illegal gun from a trash can near a school when Joe wasn't even the vice president, when you went to get that pistol permit application that was evidence of a crime that was not part of your job, then, you're bought out by Joe Biden.
Yeah, it is.
The lack of accountability and transparency from the damn FBI is enough to make our blood boil. We, the American people, deserve the truth, and we're sick and tired of being treated like pawns in their little power games. Enough with the lies and cover-ups. We want leaders who actually give a damn about us, not just their own damn selfish agendas. And don't even get me started on the pathetic excuse for a Biden administration. It's like they're running a circus instead of a country. While we're struggling to keep our heads above water, they're playing games and pointing fingers like a bunch of children. Our safety, our economy, our very future is hanging by a thread, and they can't seem to get their act together. Who the hell do they think they are, leaving us to suffer the consequences of their incompetence? Our lives are on the line, our jobs are at risk, and our dreams are slipping through our fingers because of their ineptitude. It's a slap in the face to every hardworking American who's busting their ass to make ends meet and provide for their families. We won't just sit back and watch them destroy our country while they hide behind their lies and deceit. It's high time we rise up and make some noise. We won't rest until we see those responsible held accountable for their damn mess. We demand leaders who actually have a spine, who can handle the basic duties of governing and put the needs of the people first. We've had enough of this circus show, and it's time to show them that we won't be silenced any longer. This is our country, and we won't let them ruin it for their own gain. We'll shout from the rooftops until our voices are heard. We'll rally in the streets, flood their offices with demands, and let them know that we won't back down. It's time for a wake-up call, and we won't rest until we see the change we need and deserve. We deserve leaders who actually give a damn, who are competent, honest, and truly care about our well-being. So listen up, you politicians and bureaucrats. We're done with your games and your incompetence. Get ready to face the wrath of the American people because we're coming for you, and we won't stop until we see the change we demand.
Finally got our hands on the mountains of evidence that the Pelosi's have spent months trying to cover up. The Constitution says it plain and simple. You can impeach a president for high crimes, treason, and bribery. They don't want to know whose Coke it was, but we do, and we'll get to the truth. That I promise.
This is beyond pathetic. I'm sick and tired of their blatant disrespect for the American people. I mean, what kind of circus are we running in the White House? They expect us to believe this absurd excuse they're peddling? It's laughable. If you or I were caught with a speck of cocaine, we'd be slammed into jail faster than you can blink. But when it's the White House, suddenly it's a 500-person suspect list they can't be bothered to narrow down. Give me a break. It's like they think they're untouchable, above the law, and the rules that apply to us mere mortals don't apply to them. Well, newsflash, we're not buying it. And let's not even get started on those spineless politicians who used to claim they care about White House scandals. It's all a load of baloney. Now they turn a blind eye and act like nothing's happening? It's utterly disgraceful. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds. They're more interested in protecting their precious positions than standing up for what's right. It's insulting that they think we're all so gullible and naive that we'll just swallow their lies without question. But guess what? We're not. We see through their deceit, and we're not going to stand idly by while they mock us with their arrogance and indifference. This whole situation is a slap in the face to every hard-working, law-abiding citizen who expects integrity and accountability from those in power. They're trampling on the very principles this country was built on, and it's an absolute disgrace. We deserve better than this circus of incompetence and deception, so they can take their 500-person suspect list and shove it. We won't be fooled by their pathetic attempts to cover up their mess. It's time for real answers, real accountability, and real consequences. No more special treatment for the elite. It's time to clean house and restore faith in our democracy. Anything less is an insult to us all. Mad at cannabis, but not at cocaine. But who's responsible for this? Can you think of someone without integrity that might be behind this utter madness? Why am I asking you this when it's all so obvious? Who else but the president that seems to be living in an alternate reality? It's unbelievable. What a disgraceful display of incompetence. It's as if the president has lost all sense of responsibility and rationality. Firing people for cannabis but turning a blind eye to cocaine? Are you kidding me? Makes you wonder, can we really trust this man? It's like watching a circus performance without a ringmaster. He's more interested in petty political posturing than addressing real issues within his own domain. And don't even get me started on this thorough investigation nonsense. Interviewing suspects is too much effort for them, I guess. Why bother when you can conveniently ignore the truth? This White House has become a breeding ground for hypocrisy and double standards. A 2-year investigation into a non-existent crime while the real dangers lurk right at their doorstep. I bet they wouldn't know what a thorough investigation looks like even if it slapped them in the face. The lack of accountability is sickening. It's as if they believe they're above the law, that they can do whatever they please without consequences. Well, let me tell you, this charade won't fool anyone with an ounce of common sense. This president should be ashamed of himself, and the whole nation should be outraged at this blatant disregard for the safety and well-being of its citizens. It's time for some real leadership, not this circus of incompetence and indifference. Once again, the White House and their leader has led us to a pit of disappointment. What do his supporters even expect from him? They're all feeding into the same lies, and it's about time we wake them up from this madness. Help us do this by liking, subscribing, and sharing our content. The action starts with us, and hopefully, it ends with all of us uniting against a common enemy. Stay strong and resistant to his lies. This is Red Alert, signing off.